3, 2. Hey, everybody, welcome to Barbecue Champs Academy. We're running a little bit late today. We had some problems at the last second with my computer. The screen got big and I couldn't get to the go live button. So hated being a few minutes late, but we got it figured out right at the end. I was freaking out like, oh my goodness gracious, what are we going to do? So, but we do have in the house today Mr. Joey Smith with Texas Chrome Barbecue. Joey, brother, it is so good to have you in the house tonight.
Man, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to it.
That's good. Well, I tell you what, it's been fun doing these. You're our third one since we've started this, and I've had a great time doing it. You know, it sucks that we can't get out and go cook with IBCA all shut down, and I mean, heck, we're shut down now to October the 1st, and I think we're all wanting to get out. We want to go cook. Heck, we was bottlenecked up there for 2.5 months anyway, and then they opened it up for 6 weeks, and we all get happy, and then next thing you know, it's back down again. And so at least we get a chance this way to at least be with our barbecue family, and we can talk and stuff like that. So we got people steadily coming in, and so we'll give people a few minutes to pop in here and say hello, and just give everybody a chance to come in. We'll take this time real quick. We certainly do want to thank our partners that helps all of us be able to do this. We've got some amazing partners that's come aboard and helping us to continue to push these messages out. We got Be Extreme Barbecue, Danny and Miss Kay. They got just so nice. You just will not find nicer people than
They
them
are
two.
so wonderful.
Yeah.
Every chance we get and missing the barbecue team while we're out there on the trail is when I get to hang out with them.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorite stops. We have a great time with those folks.
And B&B Charcoal, I know they're a big sponsor of yours as well, and certainly love those guys and everything that they do. We got Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Brian Crawford. Man, he has got. I wished he didn't live so far. I've heard his store is absolutely amazing. And,
he went out of bounds. Amazing.
Oh yeah, they was like, man, this thing is like crazy at what he's got going on in there. So. But certainly do want to thank Brian with Lone Star Barbecue. Anybody that's bought any of our classes, I mean, he's got probably 99% of all the rubs and sauces that we use in all of our tell-all classes. And he's got an amazing product himself, his barbecue, Crawford's barbecue pit products. Man, he's got some amazing spritz and some awesome rubs that I've been playing around with. We also got Lumberjack Charcoal out of Georgia. Those guys they make that stuff over in Europe in big chunks. It's nothing broke down. It's nice, good chunks. Really good stuff. You might want to check them out. Craig Sherry, Texas Pepper Jelly. I think he's obviously a staple in all of us, our cooking with his sauce. And dang, Craig, if he ain't done turned the deadgum corner, man, got a full line of rubs and stuff out as well. So...
I think his product is in most of our classes.
Yeah, it is. Especially the barbecue classes, the backyard barbecue classes. So, also the fine guys at Gunnar Wilhelm gave us some beautiful knives and engraved our name on our logo on one of them. So, certainly good to have them on board. And my good friend of all of us, Arcasipi Smoke Live, Mr. John Lindsay and Ronald Burns, they just do an amazing job on their podcast. If y'all haven't had a chance to check their podcast, please make sure that you do so. And they are on Monday nights at 7:30. But we're giving everybody a few minutes to come in. We just like to kind of do that as a little filler to let people get in, talk a little bit about some of our sponsors that helps make all that stuff happen. And we got people steadily rolling in right now. So we certainly are glad to have you here. And I'm ready to get this thing kicked off. We got some folks steadily coming. We know that you have done incredibly well in your endeavors and barbecue competitions. Your Texas Chrome competition barbecue team, I know you're out of Austin, Texas. And certainly do want to congratulate you on your first world champion at the 2019 Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. I know that was a huge honor for you, and we'll dive into that. But let's talk a little bit. Let's lead up to that, because that was the finale as far as I was concerned. I can only imagine how how you felt.
Almost a repeat.
Yeah, y'all almost did it again because y'all got reserve grand champion this year. So
Yes.
unbelievable to be able to get a grand one year and come back this year and got reserve. So, but how did you get started in barbecue? I mean, did you have an influencer when you was a young kid? Did you just kind of pick it up later in life, like Lee was talking about last week? You know, he didn't really have anybody. He just kind of just got out there and started doing it. So what about Joey? How did Joey do it?
Barbecue's been in my life since I was probably born. In my early ages, my dad would have a big giant birthday party, and he was a big barbecuer. My mom, they would all show up. We go to Krause Springs every year. We'd have this giant feast of just like the old days of just bring all the family, the friends together. And he had two hot water heaters made into propane tanks, or made into barbecue cookers. They were all
Right.
just cut and split open and just direct fire. And my first brisket I ever got to cook, my mom taught me in the driveway of our house in the ground.
Right.
So I realized a big cut of meat at an early age. I knew an easy way to cook it, and also I knew how to make it tender. And then it kind of took off from there. We left out from that era. Just that's all we really did. Just backyard and just cooking. I probably ate more lighter fluid than I did barbecue when I was growing up.
Wow. So your dad actually cooked a brisket in the ground? Is that what you're
My
saying?
mom did. My mom did that. My mom
Really?
was the big cooker of the house. My dad would love to get the grill going at his party, but my mom would finish it off if you know what happens to that. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
so,
So yeah, go ahead.
we've had many years of that going up as I was growing up as a kid. Just having that just authentic, we just grilled something to eat. That's what we kind of raised on. I was raised on wild game. We were fishing for most of our stuff. We really didn't have the money to go to a grocery store.
Right.
So we had friends that had cattle that actually gave us some product, and we've traded for a brisket for fish. And my dad was a big hunter. So that's how we kind of I grew up with it. And then when I got into my later teens and started getting my own business, I started getting into racing big time.
Uh-huh.
I raced from boats, I raced cars, dirt track. And then later part of my racing career, I hired a barbecue team to come cook for us. And it was Diamond G Cookers. And they would come cater our events. We'd cook with them. We'd go there. We actually went to a competition with them. And I went, wow, barbecue competition. And this is 15 years ago, Mike. I was looking at going to barbecue competitions before we even had the internet, before we had any kind of mentors, any barbecue classes. And back then, they didn't call them grand champions. They called them master cooks.
Oh,
That
wow.
was the name of the grand champion back in the day.
Right.
And when I saw that, I got hooked. I got
Right.
hooked in the competition part. And I told my wife, I said, we're going to sell the race car. We're going to build a pit. We're going to buy some pits. We're going to go do this because it'll be cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. I didn't know that. I knew that you did a little bit of racing. I didn't know. You know me. I've got the huge background in drag racing.
You've got a large one. I
yeah.
was 8 years in it.
Okay. Yeah, I had a long career in the racing and set a couple world records in racing and developed some product and stuff like that. So, so yeah, and you kind of did like I did. I got out of the racing, and then I'm so dadgum competitive. I wanted to do something, so that's when I started going to my first barbecue competitions. And so you got into it. You got a bunch of pits, and you kind of hung up the helmet in the racing stuff. And how long ago was that, Joey?
It's this last year turned into 15 years ago. This year,
15 years.
2020.
Wow.
One of my first guys that I ever cooked with that we shared the same sponsor, and I still have them today, is Texas Spice Company out of Round Rock, Texas, that
Right.
Stayed with me from since I started way back.
Right.
They also blend our product. Is Ernest Cervantes. Me and him have been brothers from the get-go. We started at the same time, just
Right.
about.
Right.
And as you can tell, we blossomed from there, and we've been blessed. It's just been an awesome road that we've got to travel. But I would have been 5 years in it and told you that I'd have never dreamed to be the caliber of cook, even to have the people, the sponsors, and even doing a barbecue class. I would have never thunk it.
Right, right. Well, I mean, it's funny how this barbecue road, everybody's got a little different journey and path how they got there. Yours started kind of in the racing and went into this, and then got really into it. And mine was in the racing, got out of it, got into it. Lee Hickle, his was a completely different path. He just decided to go cook at a competition, had no experience or nothing. So, that's the great thing. I mean, we can all get in this. I love the camaraderie that we have with our barbecue family. I have met so many friends and consider them dear friends at barbecue competitions. And to me, it is about family and everybody getting together. And I'll tell you what, it is absolutely enjoyable. And that guy right there, Mr. Mark Lambert, Mr. Word. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and the people that you meet. I mean, it just, to me, it is. That's what makes the barbecue competitions. Yeah, we all want to go and cook, but man, getting together on the Fridays and hanging out and talking to everybody, and trash talk gets to going, and everybody's got to do a little smack talk. That's part of it. So,
Yes.
but it's fun, and I think, to me, that is what makes our barbecue competitions so fun, is the family that we create. I've got so many people that would do anything for you. You could just tell they're that kind of people. And to me, that's what it's all about. So you got off into that. I said, been cooking about 15 years. And how long did you go before you got your first grand champion?
My first grand champion was it was almost a year and a half, because I really didn't afford. Our cooking wasn't like where we took a stretch and run every weekend. We got to cook maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and just did local events, because once again, the cook-off amounts back then was nowhere like what we have now. I mean, we could go to you'd have 4 or 5 cook-offs in the same weekend to choose from now.
Right.
We used to not have but maybe 2 cook-offs maybe every other month that was even local to even travel to.
Right.
And then once I got after my first year under my belt and really started putting perspective to it, the second year we got our first grand champion, and then it happened to be a local event that was close to home, that was just amazing, with, once again, family and friends. And then we came back to Liberty Hill, Texas, and one of my biggest wins, I won out of 150 teams. It was just a big event. It was a carnival, but it was a cook-off every year by the first sanctioned event. That came in 5 years later. But anyway, that's further. It's just, it all falls on top of one another.
Right.
But yeah, it was our second year before we have our first grand. I won my first ribbon, and I think actually the master cook thing was handwritten on a piece of paper, but we still have it in a box somewhere.
There you go. Hey, I got my first one. That's the little trophy. Oh, Big Ed, he made these awesome little trophies. First competition I ever went to. I had a first place brisket. My first competition I ever cooked at. Man, I was hooked. I was like, man, this is it, and I got that trophy and $712.50. I remember exactly how much I got. And I was like, man, I am hooked. This is fun. This is what it's all about. So, hey, and we've got a bunch of.
We entered our first competition. It cost us $35, and I think we actually won maybe about $50 on our first grant. So you did good on your first one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was enough to hook me. So we've got more and more people steadily coming in. If anybody's got any questions for Joey as we're talking, hey, you can comment live, and we certainly encourage you to do this. I know you may have a question for Joey that I don't, and hey, we're here for you. I mean, we want to all get together. We can't cook. Dadgummit, if we can't cook, we can all get together, and this will be our fireside chat as far as I'm concerned. So if you got a question out there, hey, shoot us a question, and I'll throw it up there, and we'll see if we can get it answered for you. So you did pretty well with that. You got going and picked up some. When did you get into going to the bigger competitions and stuff like that?
So we started off our bigger competitions back then was Lone Stars and CTBAs. They were bite-sized pieces. They were struggling building their rule process. And IBCA wasn't much in my area. Once again, we didn't travel very far until probably our fourth or fifth year. And then after that, that's when I really started getting on the move. On my fifth year is when we started developing the rub that we came out with was the original chrome that was never bottled. We ran it for probably about 2.5 years before we even thought about even thinking about the idea. And then it just started banging off the chart, and I started selling it in baggies like I was a crack dealer or something. And then I realized that was helping us pave our way to get into some IBCA cook-offs to get out of town and afford the traveling. Because back then we had a regular pull-behind camper. Cassie would pull both pits. She cooked as well, so I had one pit, and then I put a pit behind her trailer. So we looked like a gypsy crew trying to travel around. So we try not to go too far until we really got our feet wet.
Right. Well, I tell you, tell me a little bit about Texas Chrome. So that's when you was about 5-6 years in, and then that's when you started Texas Chrome BBQ for your rubs and stuff.
For the rub, believe it or not, it was just been a hobby for us for years. Texas Chrome, we started small bottling with a local company here by our house. I'm not in a lot of big box stores yet or nothing. We decided this year to really make it a company, but it was just a hobby. Right. We were just selling rubs to pay for our habit, to pay for our competitions, to get us down the road, to help it absorb the cost. And it did well for us, and that's all I let it do. I really didn't push it. I knew I had a lot of good customers that use it, and it's done well. I've been fortunate. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, it wasn't just me, but the last 5 years, your top 3 briskets, it had Texas Chrome on it every year for 5 years. That's last 5 amazing.
Years. Danny Rodriguez just posted, he said, "Hey, Joey, I love that fajita seasoning you have out. Man, I'm telling you, that is some good stuff." So I appreciate the little package that you sent me the other day to put back here on our shelf. So, but it is, it's some good stuff. You have got, I've noticed you continue to come out with some nice rubs, and they're all a little different. They're not just one dimension. You've got, your GPS, which I love the spin on that. That is really good. Your fajita seasoning is good. I love your barbecue sauce. That sweet heat is so good. So you have got a very, very good diverse line of rubs, and I'm happy for you. I mean, you've put your time in. You've proven them. And, that's kind of what it takes. So, so from there, you got into the bigger competitions, and I know that you got your first world champion at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, or Houston Livestock and Rodeo Show. So, I know that you did very well there. I know that you have partnered up with Mr. Mark Lambert himself, and just kind of curious, when you got into all of that, I kind of want to see if I can dive over here and let me just kick back out of this screen share here. Let's see if we can go. I want to pull up a couple pictures, and I want you to kind of tell me what was going through your mind, on some of these. Let's see here. Our first picture we're going to pull up. What about that one?
So we just got back from award ceremony. We came back, took some photographs, but before we got to there to go get those trophies, I was sitting in the back of the tent, and I was just sitting there, and I was very humble. I was very humble. It's just my brisket's been banging on the door at that joint the whole time. It's never left out of the top 10, so I've been very blessed to be the brisket cook, and me and Mark.
Right.
And Scott, we just developed a team that we all cook everything together. We look at, you've got to go there to team effort. You just can't go solo. It's like like American roll. It's hard to do a solo cook at these world championship cook-offs. And I was sitting there and I just kind of just in tears and awe, and I'm just having a drink, and he comes up and passes me on the shoulder and sits beside me. And I'll never forget what Mark Latimer told me. And he goes, "Hey, how's it feel to be a world champion?" And that thought was never in my process of that whole time, and it still took several weeks for it to even come to me to even have that label until I started getting sponsors and contracts and my label people and other people wanting to carry my products and going, "Hey, you've got it's a titlement that you've earned and it's yours now." And I didn't realize what that meant until after we left from there. And Mark, it's been a very humble friend for me.
Yeah.
And I'm in tears now talking about this story because it's just it's put me over the top. It's put me in a place where I feel I belong. I feel like that I are playing big boy leagues and world championships. And just like we lost by, you got to think, the World Food Championship the year before that, we lost by 3/100,000th of a tenth of a point. We reserved the World Food Championship the year before. But when we work together, it's on. We just we feel like we can go anywhere and win.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't long. It was probably just a few weeks after.
But we strive for it. And tell you what, our class of barbecue champs, I look at the lineup we got. I cook with these guys and look at their recipes.
Yeah. You there, Joey? You there? Hey, Joey, you there? Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I was just having a moment of that. Okay. I need to keep talking. But, you always bring
you
up
know
that
what,
World
brother? I
Championship.
mean,
so yes,
that's what it's all about.
Means.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've got a few more in me. And I know that we're going to concentrate on that.
Right.
As we come along.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no question. I mean, to win something like that is absolutely amazing. There's no doubt. So, and I know, I'm wondering. I'm wondering, did they find your hat? Because every time I see you, I see the hat go flying
especially
up.
If y'all decide to come on barbecue champs. We still here?
Yeah, the other day we tested this and you had really good reception, and man, we're hearing about every other word right now. So, the screen is froze up on us. Can you hear us, Joey? Oh, cell signal is probably. Are you on your cell phone or are you on Wi-Fi, Joey?
Throw the hat.
Yeah, I was wondering about the old hat. Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad. Are you on your cell tower, Joey, or are you on Wi-Fi?
It's me. Or you're having trouble. I'm having.
Yeah, we're hearing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Make sure that you're on your cell tower and not on Wi-Fi. Turn your Wi-Fi off if you got your Wi-Fi on.
Okay, you want me to be off Wi-Fi because I just clicked on Wi-Fi.
No, well, last time you're doing good now. So the other day we did it. You got better reception when you was on your cell. So we'll try the Wi-Fi for a second.
That's
see how
when it started glitching on my cell. So
yeah, we'll try the Wi-Fi. Maybe you got a good connection there. So anyway, but yeah, it's.
So my hat.
Yes. Did you find it after the
I love
world
throwing my
champion?
hat. I actually have a guy that, huh?
Did you find your hat after you threw it at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo? Because I'm sure it probably went 500 feet in the air.
Yes, it went 500 feet in the air, and someone brought it back an hour later.
How about that?
Somehow my hats make it back to me.
That's good. That's
But
good.
you just don't know when that next win's going to be.
Oh, I know it. You know, they don't come very often. It's you don't win world champions every day. That's for dang sure. So, well,
Our 2020.
Go ahead.
Still losing me?
Yeah, go ahead. Your 2020.
I'm looking you just fine. Everything's still good?
Yeah, it's just a little
so our
choppy.
2020 lineup, we had a lot of media to do. So we had a lot of pressure on us. You know, there's only, I think, one person probably repeated that cook-off, and I think that was Darren Worth. Wasn't real sure. That was a big conversation piece if you get that to do a back-to-back. So that was a lot of pressure. But we were very humble, and we'll take that reserve grand.
Oh, yeah, you got reserve.
Like we did. But it sure was close, too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, to be able to come back after that and do that, that's pretty amazing. To be able to go in to win a world champion the way that you did, and then after you did that you would come back and turn around and come back and get a reserve grand champion. Tell me what that young lady right there means to you, because I know she's been with you every step of the way.
She's the heartbeat in my life. We've as y'all can tell, we never separate. She's my best friend, my partner, and the love of my life. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing all this. It's a package deal. And she's one of the best cooks out there. I'll tell you this. She got so good one time I sold her a pit and made her go on my team.
That's pretty amazing. You know, I mean, she is a true sweetheart, that is for sure. So, when you get people like that, I always love cooking with you and Cassie. I mean, that's to me is what it's all about. And that's the whole part of our barbecue family. And I mean, we always just love to be with everybody. So it sounds like to me you've had a lot of fun. And, the one thing that, I was fixing to say this. Bill Purvis, Joey is all heart. I was just fixing to say, you've got a big heart. And I'll have to echo what Bill Purvis just got through saying. You're all heart. You got a big heart. And, you've done some amazing things. I was so excited for you when you won the Houston cook-off, and it was just probably 3 or 4 weeks after that I contacted you and said, hey, we need to get your filming class done for Barbecue Champs, because you was my first call. You was my first one. Then after I talked to you, I called Robbie Royal, and
Yes.
I had this big envision. I was like, now's the time for you to strike, man. I mean, barbecue competitions are getting bigger and bigger, and we want to be able to help people. We want to see this sport grow. And I need world champion pitmasters like yourself to get out there and let's create something unique, and let's create something different. And with these tell-all barbecue classes, and I tell you what, it was great getting you here. You was the first one we shot. A lot of people may not know that, but we set up this studio, and you looked at me and how are we doing this?
That whole rack behind you didn't have nothing on it.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot behind us at that time. I was like, man, I got to scramble to put something up there. So, but it was fun. And he said, how are we going to do this? I was like, man, just roll with me. You know me, man. I'm going to figure something out. I had no format. I had nothing line out how I was going to say it, do it, anything. All I know is I just was going to get it done. That's just... You've been around me enough to know that's just the way I do it. I go in and we get it done, and we have fun filming it. And to me, that's what makes it unique. It's what you see is what you get. We don't try to hide nothing. We just literally roll it out. We go. We have a good time filming it. And I know that you was being our first one that it was great getting you in here and just going through all the stuff. But you did an amazing job in your class, Joey. I know you got your 4 meats that you've got. You can get all 4 of them for $5.99. Brisket, ribs, pork butt, and chicken. I know so many people that have done so good. I mean, with your brisket and chicken, I've had tons of people tell me about that. I know the ribs have been done good as well, but I think it was Bill Manning. He first time out, he bought your class, and like a week later, he went and cooked and had a first place chicken. I think he told me that was his first ever first place chicken that he had ever had. And yeah, there it is. Bill, man, I've used his tips recipe on chicken and landed our first ever first place. Yeah, there it is. It was actually one of our success stories. It was right there at the bottom. So got his first ever first place chicken. And that's got to make you feel good. I know how it made me feel when we saw this happening. And I don't know. To me, it was just gratifying to see people to be able to come out and do good. So I'm so glad that you was part.
Oh, it has been. I mean, right before IBCA shut down, I was gratified. I've got a text. You know, a lot of guys don't want to share their stuff, but
right.
You know, we had a student hit a first place brisket at Fish and Fiesta right before all this stuff shut everything down, and it just gives me that. I said it's still there. I mean, our barbecue is great. All our cooks are great on Barbecue Champs. For me, if I was coming in to take a video, I'd probably for me to flip a coin. Whose class would I take?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're having people take multiple classes. I mean, these guys are taking over and over and
yes.
over and over, and that's what's making it tough, man. You guys are cooking against 4 or 5 of these guys at one time. They got the best of the best out there. So, anyway. Well, look, I want to talk about something because, like Bill Purvis said just a second ago, you do have an amazing big heart, and you started a new foundation a few months ago, Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, and I want to talk a little bit about that because I hope that the listeners will kind of get behind what you're doing here. Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation will give vets and first responders with PTSD an all-expense-paid trip to go to a barbecue competition and join up with the team to learn how to cook barbecue. Tell us about your envision in this. And if anybody's got any questions, once again, please feel free to drop us a comment. I think this, Joey, I'm telling you, man, this is amazing what you have done. And it just shows just how big your heart is and what you have done to start this. Tell us a little bit about it.
So when we're not actually on the barbecue circuit, I volunteer for a lot of programs, First Chance Foundation, Community Blessing Outreach, and also I work with Operation Barbecue Relief. Well, when I go to these events, especially when they're military or first responder related, you know, I'm either cooking for a place they're shooting guns, or they're doing a fishing trip, or they're at a ranch somewhere and for a hunt. Well, what I started finding that most of these guys, women that are in the military and first responders that got PTSD, they kind of started migrating over to where we're cooking and got interested, saying, "Hey, what are you doing over there? We're not interested in shooting a gun. I don't want to go out and fishing. I'm scared of water." And just hearing their stories, and they go, "Man, this looks like, can we help you?" I said, "Yes, you sure can." So it kind of birthed from there. And as I went on, I was going, man, I said, I've got maybe 3-5 cook-offs in my career that I got left, but I've done a lot, and I feel like I'm ready. I want to give back. I want to bring them to experience the joy that I got, but in a fast forward motion. I wanted to give them a pig coach. We're going to bring them to a competition. We're going to enter. They're going to be not even met each other. You're going to have treatments with PTSD, a man, a woman, 2 men, however it may play out. They're going to come in. One's going to be chicken, one's going to be ribs, and one's going to be brisket, and they're going to have a pig coach. And we're going to have the best cuts of meats there for them. Carlos, love you, brother. I just got a pit from you, and he's one of our guys that's going to be part of it that's got PTSD, that's dealing with this disease. And as you go along, they're going to be able to learn how to trim meat. They're going to learn how to inject. They're going to learn how to season. They're going to have all the access tools. It's not just my rubs. I'm going to get all the rub companies involved, all the pit guys and the barrels involved. We've got Tribal Grills that's going to be helping us coming in real strong here soon. Also, we've got Lone Star Barbecue with Brian Crawford. They're going to come pit coach. So they'll get to learn. They're going to cook the meats. They're going to get to show how to turn it in, present it, the whole 9 yards. And then underneath the foundation, they're going to cook as a team. One, they're going to learn a new trait, meet some people that's got the same disease, and have some good old-fashioned family fun with their family, their kids. They want to bring them along. We're going to expense pay that. And then after the whole experience is done, we're hoping to raise some money, buy some grills. We're going to get some Traeger grills, some Smoky Mountain grills, any kind of Traeger grills, pit barrels. And then a few weeks later, we want to surprise them and say, hey, thank you for the program coming along with us. We want to give them a cooker, and here's some recipes, and we hope we taught you a new hobby.
Right. Wow.
So as that goes on, what we're going to do, Mike, and I figured you would probably be a part of this as well. When we get down the road, we actually want to work with them. And the ones that continue to want to come back, we're going to build a grand finale cook-off with about 40, 50 of them. And then everybody volunteers and draw cards and becomes a big coach. So the dream is great. It's going to be real, and we're really excited.
Yeah. Count me in on something like that. You know, my hat's off to those guys that lay it on the line. You know, our vets that are overseas fighting for our country, you know, man, I tell you, it gives me chills to think what they go through. They fight for our freedom and allow us to do the things that we do. And, you know, they don't come back asking for nothing in return. I mean, a lot of them's lost their lives fighting for our freedom. And for us to be able to give back to those men and women who are going through what they are going through, I could not imagine what that must feel like, because we've never been in their shoes. And to me, it is it's just heart touching what you've done. I'll just tell you. I think this is going to be something that will be absolutely wonderful for them, and give them a platform, give them people that are in the same situation that they are. They can talk, they can become friends, they can be support systems for one another. And not only just the vets, but I was talking to you yesterday, it's also first responders as well. And, you know, God love our first responders, man. I mean, they're the first ones there, you know.
Yes.
Building's on fire. Guess who's running in when everybody's running out? And to me, that is just that's just amazing. So I'm just honored to know you, to know how big your heart is, that and to be able to put something like that together. And I don't know. I just think it's just compelling from what you've done. I hope this grows. You know. I want to do something real quick. Well, let's do this. If I know you're trying to raise a little bit of money, this is a 100% nonprofit organization. Let me see if I can run over here to the screen real quick, and let me do this real quick, and let's pull up your site. So this is
while you're doing that. So
yeah, TexasChromeBBQ.com. TexasChromeBBQ.com is the website. Here you've got access to not only all of Joey's class that he has. This will take you right over to Barbecue Champs and all of his rubs. But what we're talking about right now is this. You can scroll down about halfway on the page, and it is Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization. You can click Learn More here, and this takes you directly over to it. Beautiful page, great story. And you've got everything where you can go in and make a donation right here. It's simple. It's easy. I'm assuming you can put in any amount there that you want. You can remain anonymous if you want. I saw that you had on there, you know, if you do not want this to be, you can do it completely anonymous as well. So, look, anybody
we also
that's
have
watching,
our application for our heroes as well.
Okay, so what is the application? Now, this is for the cooks that have PTSD or that would like to get in on this.
Yes.
Is that what this is? Okay, so if you know somebody that you if you know somebody that you think would like to be part of this, go to TexasChromeBBQ.com, scroll down about halfway on the page, and you click over to the Heroes Foundation. And if you know somebody that you think that this would help to benefit, that they enjoy cooking, that they'd like to learn a whole lot more about it, they can go to this section right here, and they can fill out the application. And I'm sure Joey will have a lot to screen through and everything else. But that's great, because that's something, you can't get to everybody at once and just start away. And then if you would like the donation, what will the donation, this is nonprofit, I understand that, Joey. What's the donation going to help you do to move this thing forward? Is this for supplies? Is this for grills? Is this for expenses to get them to and from the competitions? How is this going to work?
You're answering all my questions. Yes. So what we do, we supply the room and board. If they're from out of state, if we have to bring them in, we'll fly them in. We take care of their transportation. We feed them. We actually do a breakfast, lunch, kind of dinner type situation at the event. Our next round would be at the Lost Lagoon, one of our big supporters here in El Campo, Texas. So we'll be there the 18th and 19th of September. We actually already got three military gentlemen signed up for the competition, and one of them's an amputee. So it's going to be a great one, that having those guys on board, and they're going to have a chance to go cook for $10,000.
Wow, that's going to be great.
So yes, so it's going to help for. We're also building a comfort trailer. It's not actually built. We're actually buying a trailer from a friend of ours that is helping us get started. And we're going to be buying pits as we go along, because we're going to be sending them grills, and they're going to be cooking on different stuff. We want to know what they're comfortable learning on first before we just throw them in the fire, so per se.
Right.
So we want to use different types of grills, different kinds of fuels. We're going to be doing a lot with some Traegers. It's of course in the barrels or something easy, because what's going to happen is I want something they can use at home versus sitting on our $20,000 stick burner going, well, man, I cook amazing ribs there at the cook-off, but I'd love to do that at home. Well, they can't go afford a $20,000 rig. So
right.
We want to be able to buy their pits and be able to work with barrels and Traegers and any kind of pellet cookers, stuff like that is what we're looking for need for. I'm definitely looking for product from all my folks. They already know the list. I got a lot of them already ready to give. We've got Brian Crawford from the Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop. We'll be buying a lot of our stuff at discounted prices from him. We'll be working with Mark Lambert at his distribution center to help us keep us supplied and keep the trailer going. So all the funds are 100% back to them. We don't take a dime of it. It's going to pay for all expense paid for this for many years to come.
Wow, man, Joey, hats off to you, brother, for putting that together. To have the vision, that's another thing. To have the vision of what you're doing, I just think that is just a wonderful thing, to be able to help these guys and gals to learn how to cook, to have, we talk about this barbecue family, right? And, all need to be involved, including these men and women that suffer from PTSD. This is just a great thing that you're doing. So once again, if anybody is wanting to help out Joey's foundation here, it's TexasChromeBBQ.com. And go to that website, scroll down about halfway on the page, and it's got a Learn More button. And you can donate if you got somebody that's actually that you think would benefit to go into these cooks and having a good time and helping them deal with this. There's an application there that you can fill as well. So if anybody's got any questions that are online about this, if there's another question that I haven't asked that you would like the answer to, fire off a comment. And we'll certainly get that to read it and put it out here, and let everyone know about that as well. So I just think what you're doing is just absolutely great. So anyway, it's
thank you.
I see Miss Cassie's on here. Wants to tell everybody thank you for joining us. I really do appreciate all of our listeners and everything, and we hope to grow this. I would certainly ask that everybody that's listening to spread the word out. We want to continue. We want to talk some barbecue. We want to talk about certain things that you guys may have going on behind the scenes that a lot of people just don't know about. This is a great time. I mean, we can't get together. We can't go cook. But by goodness, there's one thing we can do. We can come together like this. Technology like this brings us together. We can sit back. We can listen to it. And I think this is great. So we would certainly appreciate everybody getting the word out about Barbecue Champs Academy Live. It's Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Central when we're trying to do this. We try to keep it to about an hour show and ask you some questions and have a little fun with it. And we certainly appreciate it. Everybody doing that for us. We're going to grow it. We're going to have, so far we've had some amazing results these first couple shows that we've had and a lot of views, and it's only going to get bigger, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. So Joey, anything else that you want to talk about? Did we kind of cover everything with the foundation, or did we leave anything out, or you got something, a message that you
I'd
want
like
to get
to
out
plug
to
our
people?
group.
Like to what?
The message is just everybody just keep on cooking, believing we're going to be back out of this and stuff. And I want to give a shout out to our group on Barbecue Champs. I'm still amazed at the steak cookers you brought aboard and all those, and John Lindsay and that group, and Terry and Alan and Shauna, and man, my barbecue clan. I tell you what, I want to post them too. I mean, I'm just not the guy. I'm the one that I've taken some of these guys' classes. And I tell you what, you're not going to make a mistake. They're good. They're good people, and I love my group, and I love what you've done for us, Mike. This Barbecue Champs Academy is out of bounds, and I just feel pleasurable and honored to be on it.
Well, Joey, I appreciate it, man. It means a lot coming from you, and my vision is to bring a group of unbelievable talent in one place to help grow this sport. That was my vision from the very, very get-go. I want to see our barbecue competitions grow. I want to see them flourish. And if we can help somebody along the way, that's what this is designed. I mean, I had a phone call today from a guy up in Michigan, and he was like, I've taken a couple classes. I'm looking to pick up something else, and I said, just any of them. It doesn't matter. You're a KCBS cooker, so I would say, hey, go look at a KCBS class. And he was so thankful that, how much it's helped him, and techniques and this and that. He doesn't have to travel to go somewhere. He can watch the videos over and over, and it's really helping people. And having people like you and
Yes.
and all the guys on Barbecue Champs, and not only the barbecue guys, but the steak cooker, John Lindsay, Terry Roan, Shauna Rapolo, Tom Machado, Alan Newton. I mean, it's just so cool to have everybody in one location that you can learn, and that to me is what this is all about. It's just like now, Joe, you're trying to teach somebody new coming in, and if you get somebody that gets real serious with this, that they are really ready to take that next step, you let me know. And if I have to buy a class from one of you guys to give it any class that they want, I'll buy it. I'll give it to them, and I'll give you all's cut, and then I'll just donate my cut out of it. If you got somebody that you really feel like wants to jump in it, because wouldn't it be so cool to have somebody that's struggling, that they find that they really like it, like you got in it, like me, I got in it, I like it. It fulfills that little scratching need that we have. And if you get somebody that's getting really serious about it, and I mean, they're going to have some great pit masters that's going to be guiding them along the way. But there's a lot of things that we can learn when you sit down and you watch that video over and over and over, and learning from a world champion pit master some cool techniques. Not that none of the guys that are giving classes don't have any cool techniques, but you only see it one time and you may forget it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. You go to an online in-person class, you see it one time, you forget it. The cool thing with this is you can watch them over and over, back up, watch it. Yep, I see where I missed that, and I can get that technique just right. So if you have somebody that fulfills that need, you let me know, and I'll buy the class. I'll pay my part out of it to you guys, and it'll be an honor and pleasure. I can tell you right now, to me, to give back to what those guys have done. So I tell you what, I've had a
Definitely.
blast with this show. And once again, if anybody would like to to help Joey with this cause and what he's doing, go to texaschromebbq.com and go make a donation. It'll be for a good cause. So, well, brother, I tell you what, if you got anything else, any other shout outs to anybody, sponsors, anybody that you've got, I know you got B&B on board. Let's call out your sponsors, because I tell you what, it'd be hard for us to do some of the things we do without our sponsors. So who else you got? B&B, Compart Duroc, I think.
You got B&B. Yes. We have Compart on board. Jim has been so precious, great to us, and especially when it comes to our foundation. He's definitely going to be a big part of us for helping with meals and pork and the whole 9 yards.
Right.
We've got B&B. I've got Texas Spice. I've also got First Class RV. As y'all can tell, I've gone through some RV issues through the past,
Yeah.
and we've kind of had some bumps and bangs, and they help us keep the RV on the road. And that's about it. The rest of it's just our company and Texas Chrome Barbecue. That's what our rubs and stuff and keeps us going. And of course, I got to get a shout out to Craig. He's when we've been in need for also anything. Craig Sherry's been one of my good friends and also mentors going through this sport.
Right.
It's just I could go on. And of course, I got Sweet Swine of Mine, Mark Lambert.
Yep. Mark Lambert, absolutely. Love our boy Mark. Yeah, Johnny Dunn posted, Joey, we're going to do one of these hero. Now let's look at this real quick, Joey. We're going to do one of these hero events at the Danny Dietz Memorial Barbecue Cook-Off next year. I think that would be a perfect place to have one, that's for sure. I hope, Johnny, that you can make that happen.
It's definitely going to be a perfect, and we can go ahead and answer that here live. I saw that there was a question mark behind that. So, yes, sir, Johnny Dunn. We will get a team together, and
awesome.
We'll definitely get that done. And I also want to give a shout-out to Mike Olson. We've in November, there's a doubleheader KCBS coming in Belton.
Yeah.
He called me up. He's going to pay their entries and give them hotel rooms for our PTSD survivors for their cooks. So shout out to Mike Olson. Thanks for doing that for us.
That is awesome.
So I think it's going to come together. It's really young right now. I just really think it's just going to come together very nicely.
It'll only snowball. If you get behind it, we got some great listeners. If they get behind it, if they tell their friends and family about it, if everybody were just to pitch in a little bit of money, man, this could grow a long ways. And Barbecue Champs Academy, we got a pretty big audience. And we hope that we can spread that love out to everybody. Just make even a small donation will help. Anything's better than nothing. And this is going to go to a great cause to help some
anything.
People. So, you know, we lost a good man. Tragic accident. I'll let you talk a little bit about Paul and what he meant to you, and just unbelievable. Had a tractor accident where I think David Bosca told us about that this morning, that he was, I think it was like on the edge of a pond or something. The tractor rolled over and pinned him under it, and just sad. Just, you know, just life is so fragile, man, and we just don't know when our day is up. And I know Paul was a huge inspiration to you, so why don't you give a shout out real quick about that as well, Joey?
Yes, my condolences to Paul Shoddy and his whole family. We've lost. He's been in our barbecue family for many years. Man, it's hard. San Antonio Rodeo and Houston Rodeo. When we first kick off, he always made an effort to come by, visit. Good luck, Joey. He actually helped us kind of get off with our sauce in the beginning. So he's going to be deeply missed by a lot. He was a great cook. More than anything, was a great mentor in our barbecue world, of someone that I see that would be in our Hall of Fame in the IBCA world, I would think one day, because he was always there to look after anybody. You got a question to ask, if it's a barbecue question, Paul didn't hesitate to say, I don't have time for you. He had time for anybody. You walked in his camp or he walked by your camp, he was there to talk barbecue and wanted to know how your family was doing, and he just was one of those great people, and we're really going to miss him.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. I I think it was last week, I was looking on his Facebook page, and I think he had a birthday that was just coming up or something. I saw it, and I said, I remember him. And I added him to my friend list last year. And I was like, man, I need to call him and just talk to him. And, you know, I had always been kicking around with some rubs and stuff like that. And I was like, man, if there was anybody that could ever give you some guidance, he would be the man. And then to hear that news today, I was just absolutely shocked when David let us know about that. So, but yeah, certainly our prayers and thoughts are with the family, and you know, keep them in your prayers for sure. So, well, buddy, I tell you what, it's been a great show. Once again, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors once again, Be Extreme, B&B Charcoal, Brian Crawford. Thank you, man, for what you're doing. Thank you for your help and support of Joey's foundation, Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop, Lumberjack Charcoal, some amazing charcoal, guys. If you're having a hard time getting charcoal, they've got a lot of it. It's an unbelievable blend, and big chunks, nice charcoal. They've got plenty of it. Craig Sherry, man, you're an inspiration to all of us in what you've done and how much you have helped barbecue with all your pepper jellies and rubs and sauces and stuff. Certainly thank you for being part of our family here at Barbecue Champs Academy and your amazing classes that you've done. Gunnar Wilhelm, some amazing knives, and our good buddy John Lindsay and Ronald Burns at Arcasipi Smoke Live. They've done really good to help promote us. We're going to help promote them as well. And to me, that's what it's all about. No other comments have come in. Joey, I'll tell you right now, brother, it has been great having you here, and I hope we got everybody's questions answered. We hope that everybody will let everybody know about Barbecue Champs Academy Live on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And let's continue to try to grow this and get the word out just so we can get together and talk. This to me is just so much fun. And I hope everybody's enjoyed the show. It is an honor and blessing to me to be able to bring this to you. And I know all of our cooks, we have got a talented stack filled of amazing pit masters and grill masters. Some of the greatest world champions there is, and we're going to continue to go one by one. We're going to end up, I'm going to jerk my earphones right out. We're going to end up going one by one to get through all of them. And to me, that's what it's going to be all about, is being able to get them in. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope everybody's enjoyed it. We will see you next Tuesday, Lord willing, at 7 o'clock Central. Until then, have a lot of fun, and as we say in our barbecue classes, smoke on.
Thanks for having me. Good night.